How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about the stable, the fuel stabilizer, protection, all that. I got 3 models here, but before we start, I do want to have a moment of silence for the people that were lost over here in Texas, in the Guadalupe River. Tragic how some girls didn't make it. I wish they would have all lived. I wish that event wouldn't have happened. So I just want to give a moment of silence for those poor innocent souls that were lost. Okay, so I got 3 stabilizers here, stable ones, sorry, 3 stables here. I got 2 for fuel and 1 for diesel. So 1 for gas, 2 for gas, 1 for diesel. I'm gonna go over the diesel first. So here we got the diesel one. I like the diesel more than the other 2, and you'll see why here in a minute. So I'll show you the diesel one. So we got stabilizer fuel, diesel for every fill up. Helps remove water, prevents corrosion. Lubricates and cleans fuel systems and treats up to 320 gallons. This guy cost me like $25 at Tractor Supplies. Texas, it was like close to $30, so I'm just giving a heads up. So here we are. Product can be used for up to 2 years after the bottle has been opened. So right now we're still good, but once this bottle is opened up, you have to write the day you use it. This one's different from the other ones. I know the other ones had the same option where you could write when the bottle was open and stuff, but this one, is diesel. This is gonna take a long time for me to use. And this is the smallest size they sell for diesel. Since I have tractors and right now we're still using them, I am gonna add a little bit to it. So I need to fill up on a tractor. I wanna add this so it can help clean up the system a bit, see how it runs. And then I wanna, have some diesel stored up, since usually during the winter, the tractors don't get used a lot. The only thing I use them for during is the spring and the summer mostly, and a little bit of fall, to shred and pick up bales of hay, and that's it. And plowing sometimes if I need to plow. But recently, I've kind of done all the shredding around here. I finished that off. Right now I'm just using a tractor to connect it to a wood chipper. That's all I'm using it for right now. There's nothing much. The other 2 tractors are just waiting, to be shredded. I need to give them their oil changes now, so I'll have to do that when winter hits. I'm gonna let them warm up, let them run, and check everything. During like around November is when I start checking the coolant and everything, see if it's good and see if I need to swap it out or keep it, because they don't run a lot. Honestly, I put like maybe 5 hours for each tractor and like the whole entire season. I don't use it that much. The one I use the most is the blue one, and that one I use like maybe put at least like 20 hours easily when it comes to baling. But that's it. There's not much. So yeah, this is fuel stabilizer diesel. So here, this is to measure small quantities, remove small cap and seal on long neck. Squeeze bottle to desired level to pour. Easy enough, and here it does say at least. Here it says 1/4 of an ounce, 1/2 an ounce, 3/4 of an ounce, and 1 ounce. So this bottle, what I'm gonna do is, once I ran out of diesel and this whole bottle's gone, I'm gonna keep this bottle, peel off the stickers, have a Sharpie here and write, like in case I want to put Seafoam, or maybe I want to buy one of these other ones, and put this in here. Maybe just peel the sticker off and peel the sticker off of one of these and slap it on it. We'll see. So this is, this is a product I never used. The reason why I went with this product is because, well, as I mentioned, we are still using this product, but it's almost time for winter to show up here in like 2 months. Well, not really, but it's fall, and that's when I start slowing down, except for the mowing, but on around the yard and stuff. But on tractors, I kind of start slowing down. Since we got skid steers to do all the bale, to pick up the bales and move. Tractors, I only use it for baling, shredding, stuff that a skid steer can't do sometimes. So yeah, it's almost time to use that. We also got these other two, and you could put this in gasoline. So this is stable 360 protection and the storage. So I'm gonna go with this 360 protection right now. This is an 8 full ounce. It treats up to 40 gallons, cleans and protects fuel systems. Premium PEA, complete fuel system cleaner and ethanol treatment. I got this for like $6 or $7 at Walmart before tax. The reason I bought this is I want to put it in a tiller. I'm not using a tiller right now, and I want to send that tiller to storage. So I'm going to put this in there, let it sit there, you know, let it run all the fuel that it has in the carburetor and everything run. Then pour this in a 2.5 gallons. Since the measurements on this, guys, the 1 ounce is for 5 gallons, but this one does have an option where you can measure it to half an ounce. So we're going to do that. We're gonna measure the 1 ounce, pour it in there, and there we go. So that's what I'm gonna do. This is gonna go in a tiller. Now this one I'm not gonna use anytime soon. This is stable storage fuel stabilizer, American #1. It says keeps fuel fresh for 2 years and treats up to 20 gallons. So this one, I'm gonna use this one on my mower, since my mower right now is not doing anything. It's gonna be mowing still, but once like October hits, like maybe around there, that's when I'm gonna start pouring this fuel into the system. So in case I still mow, it'll still be running through the system until I stop using it, until, you know, spring hits again. So, and this is made in the USA. Removes water, effective in all blends of gasoline, prevents gum, varnish, and corrosion, safe for all gas engines, including 2 cycles. Now when they say 2 cycles, you can trust this guy. But I do not pour this into a 2 cycle. Like usually we run steel products, and I'm pretty sure the steel bottles, and I could go get one right now, but I'm pretty sure they come with something to help them from, you know, going stale and stuff, since it is oil and there's, you know, gotta be something, you know. And then to measure, remove cap, so on and so forth. And I forgot to mention, once you open these caps, that's when they start. I think maybe you could use these for 2 years. I think it doesn't say anything here. It says 1 ounce treats 2.5 gallons of fuel using stabilizer only with fresh fuel, and keeps gas cans of tank 90% full to avoid condensation buildup in the tank during storage. So keep that. Run the engine for 5 minutes after adding product to treat entire fuel system. Product does not contain alcohol. So let it run for 5 minutes. So that's what I'm gonna do. This one doesn't say anything, but yeah, at least it tells you, hey, store it up for 5 years. Or you can put this in your fuel and have it in your fuel, you know, the storage one, in case you want to let it, you know, let your fuel not get, you know, go bad or anything. It can help it out. You know, some people have fuel, they save it until next spring, and then spring hits and you fill it up again. Or if you don't want to add that into your fuel, just pour in it, whatever fuel, when you stop using it, just pour in your car. If you have a gas car or something, just pour it in there, you know, if you want to. It depends, you know, you gotta check what your car recommends. But yeah, these products, the only reason I went with Stable, I've always been using Lucas. That's a good brand too. I saw a video on YouTube here, Carol Fixes All. He did a 19-month experiment on using Stable, Seafoam, VP Racing, and I think 87 and 89 octane fuel. Let's see, and what were the other things? There was a couple other things. I forgot what it was. I forgot that. It's Mechanic in a bottle, but it's their other brand they use. It's usually used for water, which that's the only thing I probably would use that for, a power washer maybe. That's it, just to help fight water. You know, because I don't know if these guys are pretty good with water. There is another, I think her name was Chick Mechanic. She has made a video talking about Stable, and she was going bad about them. But she did an experiment where she poured pure, I think it was ethanol shield, I think it was called. And she poured a couple drops of water and then absorbed it, but it wasn't fuel mix, I think. I remember this video I saw like a month ago. And, you know, that's good for a power washer. But for, I would recommend using the VP Racing 4-cycle fuel. You know, you could get that at the store. They're expensive, or like $30 or $40 for a whole tank. I don't remember how many gallons, but it is expensive. I'll put that in a generator. But there is one thing, I've heard that you can't mix the VP Racing with fuel until you run the whole system. So basically, you have to pour that guy in, and once it runs out of VP Racing, after you let it run and everything, you can jump over to fuel and use it. And then once you're done using it, you know, say like you're gonna put it back in storage, immediately you just put VP Racing back into it, leave it stored, and say you need it again because the electricity went out where you live, and there you go. That's what I would do. So, you know, that's what I would recommend doing. But it's up to you. You can also use storage if you want to, but I recommend more on the VP Racing when it comes to the generators. Now, I'm going to mix 2.5 gallons with this. Since I'm going to put this into the tiller, this one is going into the mower since it's just for fuel stabilizer. That mower is still new. This one gives them more protection. You know, it's a tiller from 2017, so I'm going to give it a little help here. It's going to clean everything. That tiller has been going to 3 owners. I'm the 3rd owner now. I don't know who the first owner was. He did give an owner's manual. The second owner did. Second owner, all he did was just buy it instead of renting it, and, you know, tilled his whole backyard and planted grass. That's the only thing he wanted it for. And then he put it up on the market for sale, which was $300. And when we saw it, it looked clean and everything, and that's what we bought it because it was, well, looked like it was well taken care of. Right now, since, you know, I'm just waiting for the little, you know, the time of the year where we're gonna have to go to storage, and these probably will be the products I'll be using this year. See how it turns out. I will record the video of this tiller, and then like around the time when I'm about to start doing this, I'm gonna release a video of, you know, of the tiller running. So I will record here in a little bit the tiller running, and then me mixing the fuel and stuff. I did buy a gallon from Walmart since I was there with these guys. I was looking for this at Walmart, couldn't find it, so I just bought these 2. And in case you can't find this, because I could not find it anywhere at the automotive section, go to your, and this is the regular Walmart, not the market side or something they call it, the other Walmarts. Go to the lawnmower section, you know, the outdoors section. Look around where they sell like oils and filters for the lawnmowers, and that's where you can find this bottle. You can also find that one there too, but I found this one, the 360 protection there. I thought they didn't have any, but they did. You know, once you run out of this product, if you want to, you could, you know, clean this out, use the bottles again. You could probably put some sea foam or whatever product you want to put in here to pour into fuel. Or you could buy another bottle of stabilizer, and if it says all the same information, you could just pour it in here and use it for, you know, in case you need to. You could buy a bigger bottle and just keep these bottles and keep refilling them. You know, you could do that. They do sell a bigger one for diesel. This is the smallest one they have for diesel. Alright, so we're going to see how it runs. So right now we're going to let the tiller run. I'm going to let this mix in with the fuel. So I'm going to go to the gas station first, fill it up, you know. And then let me bring the gallon for one little quick thing I want to show y'all. Okay, so I wanted to bring in the Stihl, you know, 2-cycle engine oil, seeing if it had any of like additives on it, since, you know, I do not recommend, in my opinion, this is what I think. I will not use storage, you know, for 2-cycle engine oil, since if you buy the good stuff, since I buy Stihl products, you know, we always buy, you know, this for our Stihls. You know, we always are working on it. We noticed that the newer chainsaws, the 462s, they're not good. There's a lot of issues I've been noticing on those, and I do not like those chainsaws, but those are the ones that usually we go for commercial use. But, you know, I wanted to see, since I brought this bottle, to see if there was anything saying like there's stabilizer or something in the fuel, but there isn't. You can do it. I mean, there's nothing wrong. It's just I don't like using stabilizing on stuff like that. But it's up to you, you know. So here we got a gasoline tank here. You know, the 2.5. This was like $26 at Walmart here. Yeah, so this is an Easy Can one. This is not like that. Sure, I think it was called Sure Can or something. It was called Sure Can. That one, yeah, it was kind of sticky. That one, it's a little better than this one because that one has a clear view. This one, I don't see a marking. It does have markings here, but it doesn't say like what. 2 liters. This is a 5.1. I think that's a gallon. 1.52. Oh yeah, it does have it, but they're like little markings here. Like there's a little mark right here. I don't know if you can see it, but that's like 2.5 gallons right there. So yeah, this one doesn't have a clear view. I forgot what that brand was again, but it's like this one exactly the same head, only yellow. I think it was the Easy Pour or something like that. It's a couple dollars higher. You can get that at Tractor Supplies. I would highly recommend that one more because you get the clear view. Usually I use that for our steel, you know, when mixing our own oil, you know, into our fuel. That's what we usually use for. But I like these because, you know, say like you gotta fill with this gas can and all you gotta do is just get there, twist this cap off, put it on there, and then just press this button. It'll pour easily. The only thing I don't like about what they did is this, add this thing in there, but you know, it's up to you if you want to add that or not. And in case this cap does one day break on you, the gas tank is still good, just buy one of the yellow ones. Or if you can find, if Easy can sell it, you know, I don't know if they sell their heads as well, but you know, there we are. So this is 2.5 gallons. I'm going to use the stabilizer protection for it since I just want fuel in that, you know, so I'm going to measure that perfectly to 2.5, use it, put it on that tiller. So you're going to see me run that tiller and then put this product in there. So I'm going to show you mixing it up. So first I'm going to go to the gas station, fill it up, then bring it, and then we're going to pour the stuff, and I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, and showing you how to use this should be easily, you can use all the other ones the same way, just, you know, reading the instructions and following. And if you do that, that should be pretty easy from there onwards. So just as long as you know what you're doing, that's good. All right, so let me go get some fuel from the gas station. I'll be back, and then I'll mix that. Okay, so I have it full with fuel. There we go. Almost full, a little over the marking, which they should have made it clear, in my opinion, compared to this one. This one's clear. This one at least has the skill, no spill, that's what it's called. The button makes it easy, so on and so forth, you know. I like these gallons better. This one I just bought it because we have another one that's exactly like it, and we always put fuel mix in it. And this one, this is only for gas. That's all I want it for. So it's a black head. So immediately when I see the, you know, this, you know, head, I'm like, oh, that's fuel. The other one is mixed. And I know the little one, the big one, they're not mixed. They're just regular fuels. It's just this one. The 2.5 is usually what we use. So we're gonna mix this up, the 360 in here. So if you're gonna do that with the gas pump, I would recommend filling it halfway. Then pour in the 2.5 gallons or whatever gallon you use. Pour it in there, and then, you know, close the cap and give it a good shake. It could get mixed in there. But since I filled it up and then got back home, I did not pour this in, so we're gonna do that here. So it says here 1 ounce or 5 gallons, so I just need half an ounce. It should be right there. So I'm gonna open the cap, so I'll be back in a sec. All right, so I took off the little seal I had there, so we're gonna squeeze this up. Or probably just open the cap and then squeeze it. So I think, you know, when you're doing it one-handed, it ain't easy. There we go. I just need half an ounce, a little less. So I need a little bit to go back into the system. Squeeze a little. There we are, just a little. And maybe have to do it on a flat surface. Like it just needs a little. I went a little overboard. There we go. Okay, so we got a little bit of fuel. I'm gonna mix in, you know, I'm gonna add the fuel that it comes with, or the fuel that I mixed it up already. Pour in that ounce, and all I'll do is just pour in. So I can't do it with one hand, so I gotta have to do that manually. So give me a couple seconds. The fuel has been added. Okay, as you saw, the tiller was running fine and everything, so I let it run a little more than 5 minutes, as it said, just to give it a little more time so fluid to get into the system and, you know, being everywhere, so it could be protected at all times. I don't have to worry about it for the next couple months. So, as of right now, it should be July 8th. So, I should be probably somewhere around spring. Pretty sure it'll be here pretty soon. I do have a watch here. It's Wednesday 9th, actually. I do apologize. Yeah, it's Wednesday 9th. See, today is the 9th of July, as you can see, which I do apologize. You know, so nobody says I'm lying or something. It's July, which Wednesday 9th, which, you know. So, I'm going to let that guy sit with that fuel in it, you know, the 360 protection. The storage, I'll make a follow-up video on this one, but, you know, separately. Maybe when the oil change of the lawnmower, I'll put a video of this, and we'll keep an eye on that. So, as of right now, we got that 360 protection. As of right now, me recording this, just started just now, so at 4 in the afternoon, that fuel should be good to go. It's already in the system. We're gonna let it sit there for a little while the system is doing its job, you know, keeping it protected and everything from anything. It should be ready to yank in the next round. Just give it a one pull or a couple pulls, and then it should be ready to roll out, ready to be tilling and let this guy finish the whole fuel. I do know when you buy a bigger size, it does give you a 2-year warranty as a diesel. I'm pretty sure it gives you 2 years before you can throw the bottle away. So I'm guessing maybe the same amount, but since this is a smaller amount, it's gonna be a little more quicker. So, you know, just keeping that in mind. Once you finish using this, I will not throw them away. I'll probably buy a bigger drug and then just pour it in here and just read the instructions if they're the same and just keep it that. And you just keep buying a little bottle or just use it for something else. I'll honestly be using this as a, not this one, but the bigger one is like for sea foam. Put some sea foam in here, right, like when I purchased it or when it was poured in, and I'll use it for that whole year to see how it acts. So yeah, and you can also squeeze this and put it in your gas tank if you want to, but this is not the proper size. You might need a big one. They have some without this part. It's like a big little bottle like this. So they made it like this so you can squeeze it there to measure and pour it into the gas tank. So, good little guy. I will recommend him maybe. As of right now, I'm saying that, and then later, like, don't buy the product. We'll see. So I purchased with my own money. So we'll see here in spring. I'll turn it on for you the first time, and I'll show y'all. I think that first time I'm gonna turn it on, I'm gonna have to do an oil change. So I'm gonna turn it off just to warm it up and do its oil change so it can be ready to till. So, and since we haven't done an oil change on it, but since the guy says he's been doing the maintenance and everything, and I kind of trusted him because he was a pretty nice, chill dude, pretty nice old man. So yeah, and I was looking at this since I was wondering, you know, if it said anything biodegradable or anything, you know, like if it had any in there, but it just says formula keeps 2 cycle air-cooled engines running smoothly and efficiently by proving the proper lubrication and protection to the cylinder walls and bearings. Meets JASOFB. Always use steel lubricants to keep your steel-powered equipment operating at peak performance, which that's why I like steel. I know some people don't have good luck with steel, but usually we have been having good luck, just not the chainsaws, but like weed whackers and everything. But it does not have stabilizer, but these should have something in there to keep them well maintained during the time you're not using it. But, you know, not, they do sell a fuel that's already mixed in there. If you're going into storage, this is mostly a video for storage here, since I know we got a couple more weeks and months, a few months and weeks to go, you know. But, you know, this is a good time for y'all to think about it. I would highly recommend if you have steel or maybe Echoes. I know the steels, if you buy one of their gallons, it's already pre-mixed fuel. You can pour that into the tank, let it run into the tank. It should keep it protected up to 2 years, that fuel. So, you know, in case somebody wants to do that, feel like you don't use the leaf blower, you know, so we're going to use it until maybe November, December. That's probably when we're going to stop using it and jumping over to do something else, you know. For a little while during the winter, we're going to jump over to snow blowers and all that maybe. Here in Texas, we usually don't mess with snow much, so it's going to be mostly just doing other things. So yeah, this is good stuff. I will highly recommend it. Except you know, steel is good, but you know, if you want to protect your steel products, I don't know about Echo and all those other, but steel, just buy that pre-mixed, pour it in there during the time where you're gonna let it run for a bit, store it, and then you can use it again during the, you know, during the spring whenever you need a weed whack again. That's why I like steel, because I never had issues. I usually never mix any stabilizer. You know, we have weed whackers we use to weed whack when we mow, and they, you know, you got to give it a couple pulls. Obviously, you can't if it turns on the first try, that'd be awesome, but it won't always happen. It's gonna give it a couple pulls and then it'll just work like nothing happened. So yeah, just giving a heads up, that's what I would recommend. So yeah, 20 gallons, 40 gallons, and this is a 320 gallon. So yep. All right, well, thanks for watching. Have a good day, and just keep a lookout. I'll make a video. I'll add this into maybe the oil change of the little DeWalt. Probably sometime later. Right now, I'm barely at the 2-hour mark, and I'm about to hit the half mark of that break-in oil, which I have not been using it a lot. Honestly, it's not much. I mow. It's like 30 minutes mowing. So yeah, that mower is gonna be. I'm probably gonna have to change the oil a little earlier, maybe by the end of the season, since I am, you know, adding all the hours up. So by the time I make it to the 5-hour, if I skip a little, I'll change it. Right now, still in that break-in oil, but once I change it, you know, I will, you know, do a storage. You know, I'll add this to the tank, let it store there once I'm not using it at all. I'm gonna let it run to the system, and that's it. So yeah, all right. Well, thanks for watching, and have a good day.